It's Wednesday morning, August the 9th, 2023. I'm Pastor Mike Cussner, the pastor of Bible Baptist Church in Grand Forks, North Dakota, and it's a pleasure to be able to share some thoughts with you from the scriptures today. Today we're going to read Psalm 25, verses 11 to 13. Psalm 25, verses 11 to 13. Here the Bible says, "For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon mine iniquity, for it is great. What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth." And this is a reference, again, kind of a carryover from yesterday's text when the Bible spoke of the meek person. This person who pardons, who experiences the pardon of iniquity from the Lord, is a person who's humble, not a person who's proud and puffed up. He says, "For thy name's sake, O Lord, pardon my iniquity, for it is great." And here is the humility of an individual who's willing to admit his fault and who's seeking God's mercy. And the Bible says God will extend it for that person who is humble and who is a meek-spirited individual. The person who's proud may say, "Oh, there's nothing about me that needs to be forgiven. I'm fine the way I am." And we kind of tie God's hands. God cannot extend mercy or forgiveness or pardon to us when we approach him with a proud spirit like that. He expects meekness and humility to be the prevailing attitude when we come into his presence. Verse 12 says, "What man is he that feareth the Lord? Him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. His soul shall dwell at ease, and his seed shall inherit the earth." There is going to be a great blessing. There is peace in the spirit. The Bible says this person will dwell at ease, and that implies that he'll have a peaceful existence. If he's willing to submit to the Lord, he will experience God's blessings upon his life because he's a meek person. And he experiences not only God's forgiveness and God's pardon, but also God's blessings. The person who fears the Lord, him shall he teach in the way that he shall choose. And God is able to deal bountifully with this individual because this person is willing to humble himself to and submit to and follow the Lord. You know, I've made a point of this in recent days. There are only two sides of any life issue, either God's way or else it's the other way. And too often that's the devil's way. Which way will you choose? It's not like we've got this whole world of options ahead of us and half a dozen things could be right. No, God has a way, God has a will, God has a plan, and the devil has a plan. They're just the two ways, and the Bible speaks of the one way that tends to life and the other way that tends to death. And the one tends to God's favor and God's blessing and peacefulness, and the other tends to unrest and a lack of peace and the absence of divine blessedness. Which will you choose? On what side will you fall? On what side will you conduct yourself? The Bible indicates that the wisest course the wisest course is for us to choose to follow the Lord and to submit to him. And the Bible speaks of those who are forgiven and those who fear the Lord and those who are taught in his way because they fear God and they submit to him. And that last verse in our text this morning, Psalm 25, verse 13, "His soul shall dwell at ease, his seed shall inherit the earth." There's a blessedness there, a peacefulness that occurs in the life of the individual who chooses God's way. God will see to it. He will care for his child. God bless you today.